Hello everybody, my name is Gambit and welcome back to Infamous Synergy. I just wanted to quickly mention that at the point of me making this video, we are less than 15 subscribers away from our goal of 500. So thank you very much everybody. If you could subscribe and drop a quick like, that would be greatly appreciated. But on to today's topic that I pretty much know jack shit about, we are going to be talking about Valorant. I quite literally have less than 30 hours on this game as I've just started playing it recently for the beta on console, so I hope you are not looking for some pro opinions here, because I am not the person to supply those. At this point in time, I have never even watched a tier list video or a pro match, anything of that nature, so everything I'm going to be going off of is my gaming common sense and intuition. So, this is your one and only fair warning. You may not like some of my takes, hell, you may not like any of them. Just know I have zero clue of what I am talking about here. So, that's enough of an intro, let's get into it. We're starting pretty middle of the pack here with Brimstone. He has some okayish abilities, but none of them really apply pressure like the other characters on this list do, and they are overall pretty easy to avoid and work around. I don't care what anyone says. Phoenix has to be S tier. His flashes alone take him to A tier in my opinion, and on top of that, his flame wall and especially his ultimate earned him this spot. Sage also managed to earn the S tier slot for me for a couple of reasons. One being her wall, two being her resurrect, both of which are extremely strong abilities. Her slow is okay in my opinion, nothing to write home about, and the heal isn't crucial for me considering the time to kill in this game. But I think her strengths kind of outweigh her weaknesses. Silva is the definition of a recon character, and he does it pretty damn well. His ability to constantly know where enemies are at without putting any risk to himself lands him also in the S tier for me. Viper, we are going to be placing her in our A tier. The main reason behind this decision is the fact that she can redeploy her smoke walls, which I think is definitely a really useful ability that other characters don't really have. Cypher seems like a pretty solid character no matter where you put him, which is why I place him as an A tier character. His info is always great, and being able to lock down areas with tripwire or your smoke, which he can activate whenever he wants by the way, are both great abilities to have at all times. Reyna is going to have to go in the B tier for me, but I will be the first to admit I might not completely understand this character or her potential. Being able to shorten the opponent's vision from around corners can definitely be useful, and her heal is actually a lot more useful than others in my opinion. This is all due to the fact that she is able to reward herself off of kills. But this is also really the main downside. To get any benefit out of this character, you need to be killing people, and if you aren't, well, then good luck. Killjoy is going to go in the B tier for me, but I could definitely see how she can make it into A. Her kit definitely isn't overwhelming any enemies, but her abilities are all okay distractions. Her ultimate's pretty good though. Next up on our list is Breach, who I happen to place in the A tier. Every ability this character has goes through walls. Like, I'm pretty sure every single one. You can fact check me on that, but that ability alone is crazy. Next on our list is Omen, who also makes it into the A tier. His ability to hinder enemies through walls is always a good thing to have, and he can also place smokes wherever he likes pretty much. And there is nothing wrong with having a teleport ability that pretty much sets you apart from the rest of the cast. Adding another representative to the A tier, we have Jett. Her mobility and easy kill potential with her ult land her this spot. Other than that, I don't really have too much to say. She just seems pretty solid. Not gonna lie, I thought pretty hard about putting Raze in the C tier. Her abilities just aren't that great overall, except for her drone and ultimate, which definitely easily save her. Otherwise, she would definitely be lower on this list. Skye has a great flash and the ability to hinder enemies. I don't really care for the heal, but pretty solid character in my opinion, which puts her in the A tier. Yoru makes it into the A tier for me. His ability to get into enemy lines and a decent enemy hindering ability secures his spot here. Astra is our next agent to make it into the C tier. It just feels like other agents can accomplish exactly what she does without all of the extra steps. And to be honest, needing to leave the battlefield to use your abilities doesn't sound like the strongest character. Cool visuals though, for sure. KO is my first character to make it into the D tier. To me, the only thing this character has going for him is his flash, but other characters have even better versions of that. I could be wrong, but it doesn't seem like he has a lot going for him. Chamber is up next, and to be honest, I also thought about putting him in the D tier, but he just edged out. I do feel like he has some more use than KO, but half of his abilities just summoning guns doesn't do much for him in my opinion. But yeah. Up next is Neon. This character is great. Period. She is so oppressive, she's great at engaging, escaping, 1v1ing, and has some great cover for her team as well. Not too much more to say, this character is S tier. Up next is Fade, and to be honest, I was a little bit stuck on where to put her. Her info is great and easy to obtain, but I wish she got a little bit more out of it. Like if her Prowler hits an enemy, it does at least a little bit of damage, but not a bad character overall, which is why I put her in A tier. Up next is Harbor. This character has to be one of the best wallers in the game, right? Right? I mean, his wall is easy enough to get up, he can throw a smoke that also acts as a shield for bullets and is amazing for planting spike or deactivating it by the way, and his moving walls are amazingly versatile. I feel like his ult could do some work, which is why he only gets the A tier for me. Gecko is the best and most free character in the game. I actually hate this character. His bind ability, once you're hit, you're dead. He has a blind, because of course he does, but most of all, his ability to plant and defuse without even touching the site is insane to me, and honestly, isn't very fair to the rest of cast. That ability alone might have put him in S tier, but the rest of it altogether for sure guarantees him a spot up there for me. Deadlock is an interesting character to me. I actually main her, and she is pretty much the only character I play, but I don't see as much value in her as the other characters in the cast. Her sensor only triggers if the enemy is being silly, and her web grenade isn't nearly as strong of a tool as Gecko's version for instance. Her wall can actually be pretty good, but I really wish that you could pick it up and redeploy it in case your team wants to take another approach to the fight. Her ultimate's okay though. I mean, it could be worse. Overall, she is a defensive character, but her ability to engage is absolutely horrid even amongst other defensive characters. And our second to last character is ISO. ISO actually allows some very safe plays, which is why I put him in the S tier. His self-shield ability is honestly pretty amazing, and I don't really need to tell you why. But I will anyway. The shield makes it so you're pretty much going into every gunfight with advantage. If there's an enemy you didn't see for a split second, now you're on even footing. I also think there's a lot of extreme value in his shield and his ultimate on top of that. And last but not least is Clove. Clove lands herself in the A tier for me. Self-res is a great ability and she has no issue placing smokes and exposing herself like other cast members, and the self-heal on top of that after kills with an overshield will never hurt. So that is why I would personally place Clove in the A tier. And that is it everybody, my Valorant tier list as a complete noob. I would ask you to let me know what you think, but I can picture the comments already. Thank you everybody for watching as always, I really appreciate it. The reception the channel has been getting recently has been absolutely amazing, so thank you, thank you, thank you. If you haven't managed to like and subscribe, please take a second to do that as it always helps out a bunch. Keep an eye out for new uploads and I will see you in the next one.